You're thinking about getting the Oura Ring Generation 4 and you're wondering if it's worth it? Well, I've had mine for about a month and I have some thoughts. So let's get into it. Hey y'all, I'm Ashley Janelle and today we are talking all about the Oura Ring Generation 4. So I'm pretty sure that if you are watching this video, you are either interested in the Oura Ring Generation 4 or maybe you have the 3 or a previous model and want to upgrade and are just trying to see what it's like, how other people are finding it, or maybe you have other fitness trackers like an Apple Watch or some other kind of smartwatch or ring and you're looking just to see what else is out there. We're gonna cover everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. We're gonna cover everything from first impressions when I first opened the box to how I'm finding the app to how I'm finding the ring, everything from style to comfort to literally everything, the best features of the app in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get into it. When I say we're gonna cover everything, we're going to cover everything. So let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do, make sure that you are subscribed. I don't want you to miss out on any of the videos that I have coming up. Also, go ahead and like the video. Helps me, helps the algorithm. All right, you've done it. You've liked the video. You've subscribed. All right, now let's go ahead and get into it. So I have the Oura Ring Generation 4 in the color rose gold. Just for sizing purposes, I have the size 8 and I wear it on my fourth finger. Is this the fourth finger? I think this is the fourth finger. Somebody will tell me if it's not the fourth finger, but this is where I wear mine. It's very comfortable. It really didn't take too long to actually get used to. I have never worn a smart ring before, so this is my first smart ring, but I was looking for something that would help me track things like my sleep, my stress levels, track my workouts and just make sure that I am doing what I need to do throughout the day to prepare myself for the next day, which I think that the Oura Ring does pretty well. So the first thing that I want to talk about is first impressions and kind of what made me want to purchase the Oura Ring. So I've had an Apple Watch. Not the biggest fan of the Apple Watch because I don't like big bulky things on my wrist. It's not something that I'm going to sleep in. It's not something that I want to stay in all day. And if you are going to want to be tracked and want your sleep to be tracked and your stress and all that kind of stuff, your workouts, you have to wear it. So I was thinking that the ring would be something that I would actually wear and I thought it was pretty stylish so I could, pair it with other rings or just style it however I wanted to style it. It comes in so many different colors. So that's why I decided to try out the Oura Ring. I was really intrigued by the new one that just came out, the 4th generation, which is this one. And then also just some of the different features that it has within the app. Very seamless, just, goes on and off pretty easily. So that's why I wanted to try it. I was intrigued by all the features, which we'll get into. And I just thought, why not? I'll just go ahead and try it out. I got this in the color rose gold. Now I think that that's important because when I first thought about getting this ring, I thought that I was just gonna get it in the gold color. So there is a gold and there is a rose gold. But when you actually look at the two, and if you go into maybe like a Best Buy or something like that, they will have them for you so you can kind of see them all in person. But the gold, the actual gold, looks more like a yellow gold to me, which is not what I wanted. It's not gonna match any of my other gold jewelry. And I just felt like this rose gold to me just fit a little bit better with my skin tone and it fit a little bit better with my overall aesthetic and kind of what I would be trying to achieve matching it with other jewelry pieces. So I got the rose gold in the size 8. Like I said, it's pretty sleek, it's pretty comfortable. I am getting used to it. It's been, like I said, a month. So at this point, I'm pretty used to it. I only take it off to charge it and to shower. You can shower in it, you can wash your hands in it. I think the only thing that you can't do is, or they don't want you to do, is to use harsh cleaning chemicals and things like hand sanitizers and things like that. So when I do use those things, I take it off. So, but other than that, I've had no issues with feeling like I need to take it off. Or just like it's uncomfortable. At night sometimes, I feel like your fingers swell a little bit at night. So at night it does kind of get a little bit uncomfortable. Overall, the fit, the look, I'm really, really pleased with. So I would give the fit, the look, the aesthetic a 10 out of 10. So now let's go ahead and get into some of my favorite features of the Oura Ring. There are several. I've written them down. The first is gonna be the activity tracking. Now this is probably one of the areas within the app that I go to the most. When I'm doing my workout, it automatically detects that I'm doing something. Even when I'm doing housework, which is, often, it will pick that up as well. And when you go back into the app, it will show you that, it picked up on some activity, at what time, how many calories you burned, how long you did it, and then you can confirm it and things like that. And then it will show up in your actual activity like history, which is really nice. It also has a really cool timeline of what you did for that day, what you did the day before, including your sleep, any breaks that you took, any naps that you took. It really picks up on all of your movement. I think it's pretty accurate in terms of like how hard I was working. You can go in and actually log and say, okay, I was doing housework, or I was dancing, or I was, doing this particular workout. So it's really cool in that way, where you can kind of really log what you actually have done throughout the day. The other thing that's really cool is the sleep tracking. Now, the sleep tracking is interesting for a few different reasons. Number one, obviously it will just give you the kind of totality of your sleep for, the previous night. It's really cool because it actually tells you when you actually like lay down. So like it'll tell you like your time in bed, I think it's called, but that may not necessarily be when you actually went to sleep. So then it will also pick up the time that you went to sleep, if you got up in the middle of the night, when you fell back asleep, when you woke up. And what's really cool about the sleep is obviously you can see it, for the previous night, or, night by night. But you can also see it kind of like over time and see some of the trends that are happening with your sleep schedule. So it calculates a few different things, like your total sleep. Mine wasn't that great last night. It was only 5 hours. Your efficiency. The question is often asked, like, do I feel like it's accurate? And I feel like it's pretty accurate. Like, I don't feel the best today because my sleep was really broken up last night. So it's pretty accurate in that. So it also tells you like your restfulness, like if you feel, if you should feel well rested or not. So most of the time, if I don't feel the best, or if I just don't feel like I didn't get enough sleep last night, that's clearly reflected in the app. And the days where I do feel pretty good, or like I do feel like I'm caught up on sleep, that will then be reflected in the app. It also goes into your REM and when you had deep sleep. So that's also really interesting insights to have, especially if you have like a healthcare provider that's asking questions about your sleep patterns. It's really nice because you can actually just send this right to them. You can export this data, send it right to them, and then they can kind of make out a little bit better than you saying, oh yeah, I woke up last night at about 2 o'clock in the morning and then didn't go back to sleep. Like it actually shows the dips and the curves and exactly, what happened, the latency, and all that good stuff. It gets really, really detailed into your sleep. So one of the other features that kind of goes along with sleep is your readiness. Now, your readiness is effectively a score that you're given each day, and it tells you how ready you are to kind of like go about the day and start your day. Now, again, most of the time, your readiness, at least from what I've kind of calculated, your readiness is really dictated on the sleep that you got the previous night, and probably the sleep that you got like the night before that. I'm sure your activity, and if you're, a woman, your cycle, I'm sure all of that is factored into your readiness. But from what I've noticed, your readiness heavily depends on your sleep the previous night. So when you wake up, it will give you a readiness score, something out of 100. So today mine is at 74. I didn't have the best sleep last night like we talked about. So what it will do is it will tell you things that you can actually do because you may not feel the best today. So you can look at it and it's really a reminder. It'll say things like, this is just a reminder that, maybe you want to take it a little easier today. Maybe you want to take breaks throughout the day. And while I feel like when you wake up in the morning and you feel like, oh, I didn't get that much sleep last night, subconsciously you know that you should take some breaks throughout the day, maybe not necessarily go as hard, drink more water, rest a little bit. Sometimes we don't actually do it because we just get in the habit of, okay, gotta get up, gotta start my day and do the things that I need to do. I can't not do the things that I need to do. But when you have an app or something that is reminding you, hey, you're not operating at 100% today. You're not even operating at 90. You're not even operating at 85% today. Take it easy. Reminder, take breaks. Do things that don't necessarily elevate your heart rate. Just things like that, just to keep in mind and be mindful of. So if anything, I will say, this doesn't necessarily stop me from doing the things that I was going to do, but it does act as a reminder to take breaks, slow down, don't go as hard. And I think that that is really helpful, especially if you're looking to do things like bring down stress and bring down your heart rate and make sure that you are trying to optimize the most amount of energy that you do have for that day if your readiness score is a little bit lower. Another really cool feature is the daytime stress. So it will actually show you what your stress levels are. So there are 4 different stress levels that it gives you, which are restored, relaxed, engaged, and stressed. So what's really interesting about this is that there are days where I feel like, oh yeah, I was stressed during like, you know, this meeting, or I was stressed when I was running these errands. And actually the way that it picks up from the ring is that I wasn't necessarily stressed, but I was engaged. And I think that that's a really interesting way to think about your stress levels, is that there are levels to it. Sometimes we just think, oh yeah, I was stressed or I wasn't, but there are different levels to you being stressed and different stress indicators. So that's one thing that I've learned through the app that I think is really cool. It does take about 5 days for the stress data to come in, but once it starts to come in, I think that it's really nice to just kind of see when you are feeling stressed and things that you can do to kind of bring yourself down and bring yourself out of that. Honestly, since I've had this app, I haven't had it say that I've actually been stressed. I've just been more engaged, which is interesting. The other thing that's really cool about activity is that it will tell you what you need to do throughout the day to reach your activity goals. So it will give you an activity score. Mine is right now at 79, which they're saying is good. So that means that throughout the day, I have been pretty active. So you can set different goals or different activity goals for, you know, what makes sense for you, but it will do things like give you your goal progress to your calorie goal for the day. It will tell you your total calorie burn. It will also do things like tell you to stay more active or what you need to do to get to your active goal for the day. It will tell you if you need to move a little bit more or if you need to train a little bit more, which I think training for them means like working out. So if you need to, you know, do a little workout to kind of get to that goal, that would be helpful. So I think that that's really cool. And it will also give you your recovery time. So I've had optimal recovery time today, which has been really good. It also gives you insights to your heart rate. It also gives you insights to your cycle, if that applies to you, which is also really cool to just kind of see your cycle information all within an app and not have to necessarily use another one. I know that there is another cycle app that integrates with the Oura Ring. That's not necessarily something that I'm interested in, so I haven't tested that out yet, but I do know that that's something that you can also do. So overall, to me, the insights that the Oura Ring app provides are great. I think that they are pretty accurate for the most part. There was one night where I felt like I got more sleep than the ring actually picked up on. Like I know when I went to sleep, but I kind of want to monitor that a little bit because I don't know, maybe I thought I was sleeping and I wasn't, or maybe I was just in such a restful state that I thought that that was sleeping. I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. But for what I know, it's pretty accurate in terms of how I feel, my stress levels, my readiness, I feel is pretty on par with how I feel. So I think that the app itself is pretty accurate, and the insights that it gives and the insights that it provides are super helpful for me throughout the day. One of the new features for the Oura Ring 4 is the temperature tracking. Now the temperature tracking is interesting because that feeds into another feature called your symptom radar, which is something that I have not gotten to pop up on my phone yet. And I think that the symptom radar pops up when you are having symptoms, when the app detects or when your ring detects that you are having symptoms, you're trying to fight something off. So maybe it's a good thing that I haven't seen it. From what I've read, it's something that pops up and it's not something that's there all the time. You guys let me know in the comments if it's something that's there all the time or if it is something that pops up. But I think that that's also a really cool feature. So when you are experiencing symptoms, a lot of times we are coming down with something or our body is trying to fight something off and we don't know it. But the ring is actually supposed to detect those kinds of things. And part of that is through things like your body temperature. Okay, so editing Ashley here. I actually just got the pop-up for the symptom radar. It is a new feature and that's why I wasn't seeing it, but I just got the pop-up saying that it is available, so I wanted to walk through it together. If you go into the menu, there is a section called symptom radar, so we're just gonna go ahead and click on that. From there, let's see, so it brings up a pop-up that pretty much just tells you what we've already talked about, how it detects early signs of something being wrong or straining your body. So go ahead and click continue. From there, it's just telling you how to access Symptom Radar, which you already talked about. It's in the menu. And then from there, it's telling you that you'll get a notification, which is really nice. This is something that I would definitely want to be notified about. I'm not a big notification person, but I definitely want to know about this. And then this screen here is just telling you that if you are currently experiencing something like you're already sick, maybe your body's fighting something off, like any chronic illnesses. They also mention pregnancy, just because that is something that can alter your hormones and alter your body temperature and things like that. That might have an impact on the accuracy of the symptom radar. So I just wanted to walk through this with you and just kind of show you exactly what it looks like, because it just popped up. So here's what it looks like today. Obviously, like I said, it takes a while to get some data. So there are no signs of strain, which is good. I hope it always looks like this, but I'm interested, kind of as I go along what this says, and also how accurate it is. Sometimes we don't know we're getting sick. So I'm interested in just how this goes. Some other improvements are supposed to be the durability of the ring. I would say it's pretty durable. I have been doing everything that I need to do around the house. I've been working out, and it's very durable. I don't have any scratches or anything like that. I believe the battery life is also supposed to be better with the Generation 4. I don't have a 3, so I can't compare, but I will say that I have been able to get about 6 or 7 days of a full ring charge. I actually might let it die next time just to kind of see exactly how long I can get. I think it definitely warns you on the app when it's time to charge it, but even still, when it warned me, I had about 22% left, and I think 22% is a full day, or maybe even more than a full day. So I kind of want to let it run out next time to actually see how long I can go. But I would say it's about 6 or 7 days for me. In terms of how long it took me to get used to the app, I would probably say it's one of those things that the more you use it, the more you're going to get used to it. Sometimes I actually forget to check the insights of the app. I tend to check them when I'm having downtime, like in the evening, or if I'm just like, oh, was I stressed right now? I just had a meeting and I don't know how I was feeling. Was I stressed? And I kind of want to just see how the app is picking it up. I'll open it. But the more you use the app, the more you click and dig deeper into a lot of the insights, the easier it'll become for you to use it and understand it. It's very easy, I think. So I would say maybe after about a week, I had a really good grasp on the app. It also has some free resources that I haven't dived deep enough into, but I think there are things around how to relax and how to, really get the most out of your physical health and see that reflected through the Oura Ring. Also, some of those free resources baked inside of the app as well. Now, I believe the app is $5.99, and so that's a subscription service, and some people might ask, is it worth having? And I think it's worth having, because I know that you can have the ring without the subscription service, but I believe that the insights that you get are very, very basic. So in order to get all of the features for the app, you are gonna have to pay for the subscription, which is, I believe, $5.99, but I think that that's a pretty good price. I know that kind of throws people off a little bit because they feel like they just bought the ring, but that is something that I don't know if I knew that you had to pay for the actual app, but I don't mind the $5.99. I think that it's pretty worth it if I can get all the insights. So in terms of who this ring is actually for, I would say that this ring is for people who want to track their physical health, their sleep, their stress, their heart rates, their vitals, their workouts, their daily activity, but they don't want something as bulky as a watch. I think that this ring is perfect for those people, aka me, people who don't necessarily want to go the traditional route of fitness tracking, and you want something that is a bit more stylish. That was also, like, I'm not gonna lie, this was one of the reasons why I wanted to get it, is because it was aesthetically pleasing. It was stylish. I've seen people, like I said, stack other little smaller rings on top of it, and you wouldn't even know that this is a fitness tracker. When you take it off, there is a little light, a little green light sometimes, but other than that, you would never know. I would say that anybody who is interested in tracking their health, really trying to understand what's happening with their sleep, what's happening when they may not even necessarily realize it, with their stress levels, with their heart rate, with their oxygen rate levels, This is something that I would definitely invest in. It's very compact. It's something that you don't really feel. It's not invasive, and it will give you all types of insights. So if you're looking to start some kind of fitness tracking journey, I would definitely recommend the Oura Ring. One cool thing too about the charging is that it doesn't take long at all to charge. It takes probably, if your ring is on 0%, it's probably gonna take around 40 minutes to charge. Most of the time, my ring is not on 0%. I don't think it's ever gotten to 0%. So most of the time when I've charged my ring, it's been at about 20 or so percent. And within 30 minutes, I go take a shower, do what I need to do, come back, and it's at 100% again. So that's also a really nice thing, is that you don't have to wait for it to charge. It doesn't really take a ton of time. And the app will tell you, it will give you a notification when your ring is what they consider to be low. Like I said, in terms of the app, I feel like they've thought about a lot of different aspects, key aspects. One thing that would be cool is something like a hydration tracker. I know that there are obviously other apps that do this, but sometimes it's nice to just have everything together. And also, when you have more data within a single place, they're able to do different things with that data and give you different insights. So some kind of hydration tracker would be really nice. Maybe your food, if there's a really quick way to track your meals and your food, that might be nice. Or some kind of internal wellness would also be really nice. I'm sure that they're thinking about that. So whatever features they come up with in the future, I'm definitely gonna be keeping an eye out for, because I think that the ring itself does a ton now, but I'm interested to see how it tends to kind of pick up from here. So overall, is the Oura Ring Generation 4 something that I think is worth it? I would say yes. I would say yes. I think that it is. If you are interested in tracking all of the insights, the things that we just talked about, then I think yes. I definitely think that it's something that is very different. Like I said, it's not the bulky watch. It's something that is very sleek, very minimal. People don't even know that you have it on, and you sometimes forget that you have it on. So if you are interested in those insights, then I definitely think that it is worth it. I will have a link to the Oura Ring Generation 4 and all of its colors in the description, so you can take a look at it, get some more information, get some specs, get some pricing, so you don't have to look for that. Everything will be in the description. And that's gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments if there's anything that I can answer, and I think that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up on that note. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.